Hi, and welcome to Coffee Break with Barry. I'm glad you decided to join us for this devotional time that we have together. You know, Peter said that it was never going to happen. Jesus had promised that the time would come when Peter would deny him 3 times. And that's exactly what did happen. Jesus was being questioned by the Jews, going through this trial prior to his crucifixion. And as Jesus is being questioned by the Jews, Peter offered the 3rd denial, just as Jesus had told him he would. We read about it in John 18:25. It says there, "Now Simon Peter was standing and warming himself. So they said to him, 'You also are not one of his disciples, are you?' He denied it and said, 'I am not.'" You know, a lot of us want to condemn Peter, but what would we do in the same situation? Do you know when it's really easy to be a Christian? It's when you're at church and when you're with other Christians and you're singing praises to God and you're hearing a message from God and you're fellowshipping with other people who have the same commitment to God that you do. It's really easy to live our lives as disciples when we are not threatened by the world outside and when we only speak with those who are in agreement with us. But what happens when we leave the confines of our spiritual home and when we find ourselves confronted with the world of the skeptic and the world of the unbeliever and the person who does not know or does not care about Jesus Christ? Do we, like Peter, claim by our action or inaction or by our words or by our silence, do we claim, "I'm not his disciple"? Unfortunately, experience tells me that many of us do exactly that. There is that fearful and unsavory duality that many of us live with, where we claim Christ, yet we disclaim him when the circumstances dictate. We're disciples when the conditions are appropriate and devils when they are not. And while I'm counting on God's grace to see us through, I really am, I must admit there's a part of me that lives with the fear of facing a God with whom we have so distanced ourselves when the going got rough that I wonder what his reaction is going to be. You see, there's a darkness that's present within each and every one of us that must be repeatedly eradicated by the light of Jesus Christ if we are ever going to live as full-fledged disciples. We need to continually, daily, perhaps hourly, invite his presence into our lives. I'm not talking about being resaved. I'm talking about living out the salvation experience that is ours through our surrender to him. Maybe our prayer thought should be something like, "Father, may my commitment to you be unwavering. May my faith be strong no matter what the circumstances." Thanks for joining me for Coffee Break with Barry.